I'm going to discuss a lesson I've done on the election process in my US and Virginia government classes. Now, to give you some background, this is a required class for graduation, and my students will all be 12th graders. It is designed for both regular education and special education students in both self-contained and team-taught settings. This lesson is also part of a larger unit on elections and political parties. Before this lesson, students have studied the purpose, organization, and a little bit of the history of political parties. Now that they know that the biggest goal of political parties is to win elections, they are going to look at the steps that it takes to win that ultimate election, the presidency. There's a lot of technology integration, and it all starts on Google Classroom. On Google Classroom, I posted a HyperDoc for all students to view. It's called a HyperDoc because there's so much information on just one Google Doc. It starts with the essential vocabulary, what students need to know and understand in order to better process how somebody becomes president. Each of the images in the Google Doc contains a link to a YouTube video. Underneath the YouTube video are questions that the students need to be able to answer. So as they're watching these videos, they're also taking notes in their notebooks and being able to answer each of those questions. The questions are designed to be student versions of the essential questions in the standards. When they get to the end of the HyperDoc, they're able to have a culminating activity and play an election game in which they actually go through an election simulation and run for president themselves. And I even put a reward link at the end so they can watch some cute puppies and sit back and look at their job well done. Now, while students are navigating the HyperDoc, it's very likely that lots of questions will come up and confusion that they may have. Or maybe they just have a question that they want to discuss with the class. That's why I also posted a question submission form on the Google Classroom assignment. On this form, students can submit questions that we can discuss as a class. It may be something they were confused about, or it may be something that they want to discuss. I'll stop class a couple times a class period and go over some of these questions. It's a great way to generate discussion and also clear up questions that students maybe not even realize that they had. After students have submitted a question and have finished taking notes on all the HyperDoc, they must then show me their notebook so that I can check their notes. When I check their notes, I'm going to be making sure that all questions on the HyperDoc have been complete. I'll also have that one-on-one individual time with students to make sure that everything is super clear. I might ask them a couple questions to make sure they understand, and ask them if they have any other questions that I can clear up for them. After their notes are awesome, they've submitted a question, and they feel like a super scholar on the election process, then I will email them and their Google account a link to take the quiz. This will be my assessment for this section of the unit. Once I've completed the assessment, I can see any holes that I have or anything that I need to reteach, and it'll give me a great segue into my next topic, which is the different influences on elections.